Okay, it's a Sentai Black Friday haul box. Placed the order. So they started their sale a full week early this year, and it was the week before Black Friday that it started. I actually placed this order basically Saturday, the day after it started. I'm a little worried because I only got one tracking number. That is very plainly saying 1/2, which implies that this is not the full order. I don't know. Kind of hard to say. Taking the tag off so you don't see my name and all that mess. Guess it doesn't matter if you saw my name or not. Anyhow, before I open it, I will plug real quick the fact that on my website, PSO Archive, you can get checklists. Ooh, for your Sentai Filmworks Blu-ray, DVD collections, as well as for their, well, for the Made in Japan label, which they aren't technically officially the same company, but they are kind of. Anyhow, well, they sell this stuff. Anyhow, so I guess we will get right into opening this up. This is the biggest order I've ever placed with them, I do believe, even though I've been unemployed this entire year. I always try to buy from their sale annually, so I started saving up like in June to do this. So it's like, okay, gotta have your entertainment, you know, whether you got a job or not. Not that I've actually watched everything from the previous year's sale yet, because I spent way too much money last year. Anyhow, all just a matter of having time, right? You get to it eventually. Ooh. So we're gonna see. So I ordered either 44 or 45 titles in total, and I'm pretty sure this box is only rated for 20 products. Looks like I may have squeezed it. So I'm going to say this is not the full order. Yeah, this is not the full order because there are no Blu-rays in this box. And I did actually order a few. Alright, so we'll just kind of get into this here. There's no packing slip either. That's interesting. Let me see if there's one hiding under this because I'm curious. Yeah, there's a packing slip at the very bottom of the box under everything. Gotta love that. All this stuff was stupid cheap. So Sentai is officially is not publishing except for a few things on DVD anymore. Officially, the way they announced they were going to handle it was that they were going to, I'm not going to show the invoice since it has my name and address on it. Yeah, page 1 of 2. It is a 2-pager. It is a big order. Yeah, 45 items. Definitely not 45 items in the box. So that means there's a second box that only got one tracking number. That's interesting. Okay, well, whatever. Well, I'll figure that out later. I was wondering how they were going to ship it all when I ordered so much. Okay. Wolf Girl and Black Prince. So they officially announced back in like third quarter 2018 that they were going to, or was it 2017? I can't remember now. But basically, they said that they aren't going to release titles on both Blu-ray and DVD anymore. And the only titles that would continue to show up on DVD would be titles where they've already started releasing the series, which hasn't held true entirely, I'm sorry to say. So, like, Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon Season 2 that just came out this year and it's complicated. So in their limited edition box set, it includes the series on both Blu-ray and DVD. But there's no way to buy it only on DVD. And it's like, well, I've got the whole rest of the series that's been released so far just on DVD. So it's a little disappointing because it's like, their premium, box sets are really nice, but I don't have room for them. I mean, my room feels like a warehouse. You're not going to get any more shot of it than that because that's kind of indicative of what the rest of this bedroom looks like. Okay, so yeah, we have Wolf Girl and Black Prince, and I will point out most of these titles were 95% off. I mean, it's like I can't buy them used for that price. I've got a couple of used media stores. One of them is almost always like priced at what like 40 to 50% of what the original retail was, which is kind of crazy. It doesn't matter what it is; it's just that's how they price things. And then the other store, I mean, understandably, you get a series set like this, where this is the whole series. What, 2 or 3 DVDs, 2 discs. Yeah, this one's on 2 discs. Some of these are on 3. And they want $15+ for them, and in the past that was a fantastic price, and I actually bought a bunch of stuff that way. But like this year, I haven't even gone to those stores because it's like I knew that the sale was coming up. Why not just wait for the sale, buy stuff that's brand new, fill up my collection a little bit, get some great, more recent releases. I mean, there's some older stuff I'd want, but, like I said, I've been unemployed this year, so it's like, what money I've been earning here and there, It's like, okay, let's see here. Photokano. This is kind of, don't really know a whole lot. And most of these series I know nothing about, but, when you're paying, like, $3 to $5 a piece for these, it's like, you can't go wrong, and you get the thrill of, it's a surprise, it's your first time seeing it, you know nothing about it. Here we go. Glass Lip. This one looked really interesting when it came out. I just, I read it, the details on it. It's like, well, that sounds interesting. If I'm not mistaken, this is about, like, a comedy routine. It's going to be kind of interesting. Let's see here. Soft Tenny. Sports anime. It's like, I don't care anything for sports in reality. I don't know why, but, if it's anime, it's like even a TV show sometimes. I'll find it interesting to watch, shows about it, people who are into it, but I'm not really into sports myself, which is kind of strange to say, but that's how it is. Young Blackjack, the complete collection again. I think this is on 3. Yeah, this one's on 3. So some of these 10 to 13 episode series, they've got them on, I think the 10 to 12 episode series sometimes are on 2 discs, is that right? Yeah, so that's 12 episodes on 3. 13 episodes, no, it's 12 episodes on 3. That's 13 on 3. That's 12 on 2. And, yeah, 13 on 3. Yeah, but that's how they have it divvied up. It just depends on the bit rate they're encoded at. Let's see what else we have here. The World is Still Beautiful. Now, I'm not sure if it's related. I used to have a similarly titled anime series from ADV, and I don't remember what it was, but I actually sold it, and I can't remember. I don't know if this is the same. I'm positive this is not the same series. There was another series, The World is Something, but it had that same similar theming with the titling. It was The World is Something, and I can't remember, but it was a very weird show. Let's see here. Oh yeah, okay. Aura. Koga Mariuin's Last War. I think it's about somebody who's a Chunabyo. Oh wow, I can't even say the word. Somebody who is obsessed with thinking that they have mystical powers. I don't know. It's strange. I've talked to people who seem to think that's kind of unique to Japanese culture, but I can say it's not, because if going back late 90s, early 2000s, you had Joss Whedon TV series Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and the spin-off series Angel, and those kind of spurred off, inspired other similar stuff that were the same kind of deal, where it was basically a series about, magical whatever, in modern society. And yeah, so, and I know people who got really, really mixed up into that kind of stuff. And I actually had a coworker just a few years back, and we're talking about a guy in his early 30s who lived like that. He actually believed that he had mystical powers and was called to fight zombies and vampires. I don't know what was going through that man's head. he was great at his job. He was actually a pretty good coworker. You know, he was one of those rare guys that, you know, he got assigned to do something, and sometimes he would definitely do it and go out of his way sometimes to do stuff he wasn't asked to do just because he saw it needed done. You know, so nobody ever said anything to him about it because it's like, you know, you can be crazy all you want, and yeah, as long as you're a great guy to work with, nobody really cares. You know. And he was a great guy to work with. I feel sorry because I don't know why he had that issue, but do they have that word on here? Shunibu or whatever. Oh, I don't know. No, they don't have that word. But it's that sort of thing where people don't really discern fiction from reality very well. And you have a lot of people in Japan and in here too, where it's just they're doing it for fun, but then you have those rare people who've convinced themselves of it, and so it's not an issue unique to Japan though. This one I thought the art has... I've always passed on it. I was like, the art looks really interesting though. It's definitely unique. It's called Windy Tales. That is 13 episodes on 3 discs. Aura is actually a movie. It's on 1 disc. It's a 90-minute movie, so it's going to be kind of interesting. Trying to... Some of these are like on multi-part, so I'm trying to figure out what I'm pulling out next. Okay, here we go. This, I know I used to own the ADV box set, or the thin pack set of this, and I think back in like '08 or something I sold it. And it's been so long, I don't even remember much about this series. It was like, you know what, they have it on clearance effectively, yes, sale, you can call it whatever you want, for $2.99. Why not? Buy it back and watch it again and figure out what it was about, because I don't remember. It's been that long. Big Mech series, I'm a sucker for. Okay, so this is something I've never seen. It's called Arsavalan, I believe is how it's pronounced. That's collections 1 and 2. It's the whole series here. 12 episodes on 2 discs, and 12 more episodes on 2 discs, so it's 24 episodes in total. I mean, where are you going to buy a 24-episode giant mech series for $6? Or was it 7 or 8? I can't remember. There's a way of figuring out. Yeah, so this was... yeah, so the way it works is if the series is something they took the time to dub, then it costs like $1 more on the sale. So this is sub-only. Most of these have been sub-only. That's fine for most things. I do prefer dubs, just to throw that out there. This is going to be kind of interesting. So I think in Japan, this anime series is actually sponsored by a ramen cup noodle company. Gugure Kokuri-san, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. As you can see, it is 12 episodes on 3 discs. Some of these newer releases, or the later releases, they actually say how many episodes and discs they are on the front, and not just on the back. They always say it on the back too, but yeah. So this is going to be, I guess, about, what do they call it? You know, they don't call them demon. Well, they have demons, and yeah, so they're like monsters, you know, of the other realm. I can't remember. They have a particular name. Yeah, I'm sure it'll hit me after I'm done filming. That's embarrassing. I can't remember. Okay, moving on. This one looked kind of interesting when it first came out, and it's just one I've been passing on because it's never really been as extremely discounted as it is now. And that is Buso Shinki, Armored War Goddess. Now, I don't know anything about it again. It just looks cool. I make a point of not really reading up too much on series. I don't own or have access to stream legally, so... but this one was super cheap too. This was like $2.99 again, and it's like, why not? It was 13 episodes on 3 discs, you know. Fantastic. Can't go wrong with that. Let's see here. Okay. This one is DD Fist of the North Star. This is like a comedy spin-off of Fist of the North Star. Basically, I do know a little bit about this because I like Fist of the North Star, but this is like a comical spin-off where the main characters, they like work at a convenience store. So I'm thinking this is going to be, one of those things to watch when you're in the mood for a good comedy. Let's see. Oh, it is 26 episodes on 3 discs. So, okay, so it's half-length episodes. So we're talking like 12.5-minute episodes. That's interesting. So that's a new thing, and I say new. Something basically within just the last 10 years in Japan. Because the cost to produce anime is so high that a lot of these half-length episodes are being made. So instead of, your traditional, okay, well, you can have a half-hour block TV series or a 1-hour block TV series, some of their networks are now doing, they're dividing up an hour into quarters. And so you can have a 15-minute block episode of something, and which is kind of crazy to think about, because here in the Western civilization, that hasn't happened. We're still in half-hour and 1 hour, but almost everything's live action, so the cost to produce stuff is really nowhere what it is even close to produce animation. And with all the people involved in animation and the payrolls involved, whereas here it's a live action, you got a crew, and as long as there's no special effect, CG effects, it's pretty straightforward. Fair. Okay, what else have I got in here? I'm going to pull that out next, if I can. I see something I'm missing already. Okay, so Hayate the Combat Butler. Now, these are seasons 1, 3, and the movie. Okay. Now, I already ordered season 2 previously. Now, originally, season 1, which as you can see is a chunky set here, this is all 52 episodes of season 1 on 9 DVDs. This was originally released, and it was a very late release from Bandai Entertainment, USA, in their USA division of their publishing. And it was only ever subbed, and this was kind of one of those things where Bandai wasn't doing as well financially there towards their end when they decided to call it quits. They didn't go bankrupt, but they did decide to call it quits. And they called it quits because they claimed that internet piracy was killing DVD sales. That was only partially true. So, yeah, piracy is always an issue. I don't deny them claiming that. However, what was killing them was the market was flooded. And there's other people on YouTube who will tell you the same thing. 2007, 2008 rolls around and you've got, 10 or so publishers on the market, and they're all releasing stuff every month. And as an anime fan, you cannot keep up with everything, financially or otherwise. It's still that way today, truthfully, even though we have, far fewer publishers remaining, and companies like Sentai, in my opinion, have smartly decided to stagger releases. So they're doing like 4 or 5 releases a month at most is what you generally see out of them. Sometimes a few more, just depending. And you can't blame them for that, because they don't want to release so much. Like Funimation, I hate to throw their name out there, which of course everyone knows now, that's now a division of Sony. They release so much that it's hard to even find out everything that's coming out from them. It's like they have such a massive operation now that is crazy. Because they've where in the past, the company that Sentai spurred off from, which was ADV, or AD Vision, that used to be the big one. That was the big company. They released tons of anime. They licensed tons of anime. They dubbed virtually everything. Matter of fact, I think they actually did dub everything they released. And Funimation's doing that same thing. Might be some rare exceptions in the mix there, because I know in the past they had a few things they released that were sub-only, but they're dubbing like crazy. And, it's a big operation, and it's hard for anyone to come close to competing with that. And I'll bring that up again, because this is like, I brought up the checklists on my website, PSO Archive. I've been cataloging because I'm afraid of this becoming lost history, of who published what. Not necessarily when it was published, but just cataloging what they published. So I've done checklists now for Sentai Filmworks and Made in Japan, which those are both active publishers. Mostly I focus on publishers who are already out of business, though. So I've got checklists for numerous other publishers that no longer have ceased to exist on my website, and some that, while they haven't ceased to exist, they no longer publish anime. And these are specifically anime checklists. So, for example, like Sentai Filmworks also has, if I remember correctly, Switchblade Pictures, which is Asian live action that they do, which they've done some, like some Super Sentai type, live action superhero stuff from Japan, and a few random movies, including a couple of the Godzilla films. Those are not on these lists because those are not anime. But I specifically am cataloging anime. I make these checklists. They're a PDF format on the website. You can download them, save them, print them. Of course, I print mine because I'm making a product that I myself use to keep up with my own collection. And it's really, I think it's pretty cool. And like with Sentai Filmworks, their DVD checklist, unless they release anything else on DVD, which I'm skeptical that they will do, then the checklist is basically complete if you download the DVD checklist. There's probably never going to be another release on DVD from them, but we'll wait and see. If there is, I'll update it. It's no big deal. I also have done Central Park Media and all of its labels, and for them I have VHS checklists and DVD checklists. And there's other format checklists, so some of the rare stuff that y'all have probably never heard of, the CED format, which was an old 1980s format that was competing, with VHS and Laserdisc, and it flopped. It flopped hard. Oh, it flopped hard. There's checklists for the anime released on that format, and those are not publisher checklists. Those are format checklists because that far back, the anime was just rare. It was so rare, and it wasn't released as and touted as being Japanese animation, so it's rare. But I have a Betamax checklist. That is an active thing because finding out what was released on Betamax is so difficult. I have updated that thing numerous times this year with a title here and there that got pointed out. Hey, do you know this exists? Hey, did you see this pop up on eBay? And go on there, verify it. Yep, that's the real deal. That's a commercial release. So there's a Betamax checklist, CED checklist, and then there's a VHS checklist. And then from the 1990s, we had CD-ROM videos. And I'm not talking about video CD. We're talking CD-ROM videos that were released for computers. So there's a CD-ROM checklist. And so those three, CED, Betamax, and CD-ROM format checklists are format checklists. They are not sorted by publisher. They're alphabetical title releases for just everything on those formats because there's not that much. Everything else is by publisher, by format, with rare exception. So yeah. But going back to Hayate the Combat Butler, like I said, Bandai Entertainment only released Season 1, and it is, I think, from them, it's on 10 DVDs. And they're very hard to get the later volumes. So you can buy the first 4 or 5 volumes, for reasonable prices. But why wouldn't you just buy? And this is what I had to face, is like, while I like from the collector's aspect, the cover art's really cool to have all the various cover arts for each individual DVD volume. And you get the little liner notes sometimes on Bandai releases. Most of their releases do have liner notes that give you additional information about the series or the people behind the series, which is really cool. I get none of that with this, but it takes up only the space of 2 DVDs, and it has all of Season 1 on 9 discs. No extras, but I get the whole series. Really good price. That's Season 1. This is Season 3. Like I said, I already own I bought Season 2 previously in another sale because it said it was low stock, and I was worried. I knew I wanted the series, and I was like, I'm going to order it while they have it, because if they sell out, I'll kick myself later. Anyhow, this is Season 3 of the series, which I think is the shortest season, if not mistaken. Yeah, 12 episodes on 2 discs. I could be wrong about the shortness of that, but anyhow, Season 2 is also a big season. It's like 20 some odd episodes. Season 3 is 12. I think Season 4 is 12, but I don't have Season 4 in my box, which means that there really is another box somewhere coming my way. Anyhow, and then this is the finale movie, which was a theatrical release in Japan, which is Hayate, the Combat Butler, Heaven is a Place on Earth. Now, they are basically dumping this, the DVDs, of course, they're dumping them because they're not making them, they're not going to produce anymore. So anything they're selling now, you figure they've probably been sitting in inventory for a couple of years at this point. But there will be a Blu-ray release, an Ultimate Blu-ray release is coming up for this, I think, next month, or this month? I don't remember, but they have it. If you want it on Blu-ray, there will be an Ultimate collection of all 4 seasons and the movie on Blu-ray, which I believe it's like I think grand total is about, it's a little over 100 episodes. So it's a, fantastically long series. Oh, okay, they finally sent me the right one. Okay, so this is Digicarrot Winter Garden. This is the conclusion to the Digicarrot series. I already have the Digicarrot TV series, which that's short form factor episodes, because Digicarrot is actually the mascot for a media store in Japan. So this anime series was actually funded in part by that company, basically used as advertising in a sense. But this is like the finale, and it's an OVA if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. It is. It's 2 OVAs, so 2 30-minute OVAs on one disc. I actually ordered this previously, and they sent me the other OVAs instead of this OVA, even though my order said I ordered this, my invoice said I ordered this, but it was okay because I didn't own that yet anyhow, so I didn't bother to correct them on it. But that's good. That means I have all Digicarrot now. Okay. What's next in this lovely box? Ah, there's something else that I can tell right now is missing. Okay. Captain Earth Collection 1. So this is the first half of the Captain Earth series. I did order both parts. Part 2 is missing from this box. That means it's in box 2, apparently. This is 13 episodes on 3 discs. And I think... Nope, yep, sub only, okay. And, oh, let's see. Oh yeah, here we go. This, okay. Student Council's Discretion. It's basically seasons 1 to seasons 2, and if I'm not mistaken, this series has a 3rd season coming. I don't remember if that's true or not. I'm thinking I read that on the internet that there is a season 3 coming. And when I saw that, I was like, I ought to go ahead and order seasons 1 and 2. I generally like these high school comedy type things anyhow. Yeah, so it is sub only. That's 12 episodes on 2 discs for season 1. And that is 10 episodes plus OVA on 2 discs for season 2. It's a short season. Interesting. Okay. This one has a weird, slightly offensive name, but the actual story, this is one of the few ones I actually bothered to read what it was about, and I was like, okay, I'm going to take a chance on it because I don't like the name, but it sounds like a really cool sci-fi. Okay, and that is Comet Lucifer. Okay. And I think that's probably why it didn't sell too well from them, is because of the naming of it, And it's 12 episodes on 3 discs. But it sounded like a really cool little sci-fi series, so I'm like, okay, I like sci-fi, so I like anime in general, let's be honest. Okay. And let's see here. We'll do that one next. That's a whole series, too. Okay. Wake Up Girls Complete Collection, plus the movie. And this was cheap. This was like $3 for the series and $1.99 for the movie, and I'm like, man, $5? Where else are you? When in history have we had that kind of opportunity to order direct from the publisher at that kind of a fantastic price? The series is 12 episodes and 2 discs, and I think it's like a an idol singing group kind of thing. But it's like, I like, I'll watch it, absolutely. Okay, so the movie's only 52 minutes long. That's interesting. So in Japan, now over here in the United States, the Motion Picture Association of America has a standard for movies. So if it is not, I think it's 61 minutes. If I'm not mistaken, it has to be a minimum of 61 minutes in runtime to qualify as a movie. And if it's not at least that length, basically, if MPAA says it's not a movie, then the theaters don't want it. So in Japan, it's totally different. I think over there, their standard for a movie is only 45 minutes. So anything at least 45 minutes, their theaters will, they can get it rated by the ratings board, and the movie theaters will accept it. So you see a lot of the stuff like this where it says it's a movie and it's less than an hour in length, or right around an hour in length, and we're thinking, how is that possible? And well, that's how it's possible, because different standards for different societies. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Oh, okay. This one, the cover art kept repelling me from it for years. They've had this series for years, literally. I'm not even joking. It's like been in their every sale they've ever had that I remember. And it's called Radine. And I've been like, what is this series? I need to look at it. It's a DVD exclusive. They've never put it on Blu-ray. There's never been another completed collection release. This is it. It's collection 1, collection 2. As you can see, it's a total of 26 episodes. So we've got 13 episodes per set. 13 episodes on 3 DVDs, 13 more episodes on 3 DVDs, but I actually took the time to read the description finally, and it's actually a giant mecha series, and I'm like, oh crap, well, I've got to have that. So I don't know anything about it beyond that. It's like, once I found out it had giant mechs, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to read any further. I don't want to know. It's going to be a total surprise when I watch it. Now this one, okay, this series is a re-release. ADV originally released this series, so it is dubbed. Ushio and Torah, complete collection, 39 episodes on 8 discs. This was on sale for like $6, $5.99 I think it was. I was like, man, no way. That's just like, I'm not even kidding. I said it earlier, at the start of this video. These prices, it's like, you won't do this used. Like, I won't. You generally won't go into a pawn shop and find this. Goodwill's in my region, which Goodwill operates in a regional. That's a thrift store for those of you who don't know. But they are and are not a thrift store. It's complicated. They've been in legal trouble. But they operate like a thrift store. They want $2 per DVD disc. So if I went into a Goodwill and they had this, because I actually bought a Sentai DVD release from one of my local Goodwills just this past year, and it was something out of print that I really had wanted, which was Maid Sama, complete collection. And it's a set like this, but it's on like 5 or 6 discs, okay? I had to pay, it was 5 discs, I had to pay $10 for that, used, and a couple of the discs are horribly scratched, and I'm like, I gotta resurface them still, because it's like, sure enough, I tried watching, and it is like disc 1 is scratched, and it's like, oh my goodness. And I paid $10 for it, used. And it's like, it's telling. But yeah, Ushio and Torah. And I know a little bit, because I have seen trailers for this in the distant past. And basically, so, it's got some weirdness going on. But so the cover art here, you've got the, I think Ushio is this guy. Torah is the, it's like is a yokai. That's the word I couldn't think of earlier. So he's like some yokai who's been supposedly sealed away in like the shrine his family runs. He accidentally releases this being, and he can like possess him and give him powers. I don't know a whole lot about it. I just know I have seen trailers for it, and it looked really interesting. But it's one of those series where if you go to try to track down the original ADV releases on multiple volumes, and you're going to pay a ridiculously absurd amount of money to get the whole series in volume form. And it is one of these double width cases. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm happy to have that finally, because I've been seeing trailers for it for years. Okay, this is one that's just a random purchase here. Matoy, the Sacred Slayer. I play Phantasy Star Online 2, and there is a primary storyline character whose name is Matoy in that. And I read just a little bit of the synopsis on the series, and the series is 13 episodes, or 12 episodes plus an OVA on 3 discs. And it has kind of a centrally, themed plotline around Japanese mythology, which Phantasy Star Online 2 and the character whose name Matoy in it also is a character based on Japanese mythology. So I was like, that's kind of interesting. Alright, next up. This is a series I've been looking at it for a while, and it's like, I don't know, well, I want it. I mean, let's be honest, you want it. If you're into anime, you want it all at some point. But anyhow, this is The Perfect Insider. And what little I know about it was not what I read on the website, but somewhere else I encountered someone talking about it and saying it's basically a locked room mystery. I was like, well, I like mystery, so. This one is only 11 episodes on 2 discs. Okay, and then the last item in this box is Leviathan, The Last Defense. And I need to check this. Is this? Yeah, okay. So, this is one of those series where Sentai originally released it as a subtitled series, and then a year or two later they re-released it with an English dub. A lot of people have been wondering what was the deal with that, why were there subs and then later dubs. Well, that's because of High Dive. So the sub-only releases came out early in Sentai's existence, generally speaking, and then they went back and they dubbed a bunch of things when they partnered up with High Dive, which, again, High Dive is kind of the same company, but we won't go into that, because Made in Japan is kind of the same company, but let's put it this way, they all share the same address, they're just not the same company on paper. Anyhow, but yeah, it's another series. I don't know much about this other than the fact it's like a fantasy sci-fi with cute girls, and well, can you go wrong with that? Probably not. So it's 13 episodes on 3 discs. And that is my haul for what is apparently accurately marked as being box 1 of 2. Thank you for watching, and don't forget, PSO Archive, and you can get your anime checklists for quite a lot of publishers if you're into collecting anime on DVD and VHS, even some of the Blu-rays on my website. Thanks.